Good morning. Welcome to Spirit Sessions, a view of the light, and smell the sage. Smell the sage and put the intention out there to anything that's not serving your highest good in this moment. Let it go. Bye-bye. Let it go with the smoke. Because today we're going to have a fun show and everybody is so excited. Put your hands in the air for Katie Steinle.
You guys are so sweet. I love it. So good to be here. I always enjoy hanging out with you guys and making some magic together and just lifting everybody and aligning everybody in all the right ways. I am the special weather correspondent for the cosmic weather on the Spirit Session show. So I pop on usually around, when we have major events like the equinoxes. Jen's joining us all the way from Ecuador. So happy to come. That is something when we can be all over the world on a Sunday morning, but feel like we are just sitting in each other's living rooms, Love it. Well, Nancy. Oh, Nancy, my heart is so full. Nancy's being blessed so many times over right now, and it just makes us so happy. She's one of our tribe. So why don't we get this party started, right? And before I start jumping into the equinox and, she's got me on the big screen. No pressure, I'm on the big screen. Before we jump into the equinox energy update, why don't we just kick this off with a few minutes of the biofeedback frequencies, because that I think will help just ground us and get us like in the zone, to really open us up to be able to take in and embody, the information that I'm going to give. So what I would suggest, if you don't already have like a cup of water, or, go grab your bottle of water that you're, going to use throughout the day, because these frequencies can impact and influence water just like they influence our bodies. I mean, our bodies are 90% water. And, it's been proven that, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Yamamoto studies, but, they measured water and exposed it to different frequencies. And it was amazing. Like the different frequencies would create different like geometrical patterns of alignment and synchronicity within the water. So it's like, wow, you can really see like firsthand what it's doing to our bodies when it's bringing everything into balance and harmony. So hopefully you've had a chance to get your water and just set it in front of you for the show. And then that way you can drink it throughout the day and continue to get healing, from the energy work that we're doing right now. So why don't we go ahead and just take a couple nice deep letting go breaths, focusing on that exhale, and just closing your eyes if you can while you listen to these biotones, and just letting yourself go inward and really just focusing every exhale on releasing out what no longer serves you. We are embarking on a new season, so fall is all about harvesting and abundance and reaping the rewards of what we've worked so hard for throughout the year. But we can't do that if we don't make space by releasing those old patterns, negative thoughts, just letting it all go, opening up your heart space, creating room, and telling yourself that you deserve the abundance and the blessings that are coming your way. I've included hundreds of frequencies, and they are all focused on just bringing our body into alignment, all of our systems online with the energy that is around us, and that is what autumn brings in. And then the balance of light and dark, both externally in our lives and internally in our bodies. And then aligning also with the frequencies of abundance and blessings, because like attracts like. And when we emit that frequency, it just naturally comes our way. Okay, so that was just a couple minutes. Oh, Oklahoma. That's where all my relatives are. Oh my gosh, good to have you on. So how did that feel? Did you guys feel a little shift, a little,
Yeah, very much. That was cool. I felt it right in between, like in my spine, like right in between my shoulder blades, like right in the center, and just felt like this melting. It's very cool.
Nice. And Bex, that actually is that point right there at the top of the, kind of where the shoulders meet the neck is in Chinese medicine, the meridian system, our electrical energy that runs through our body that, keeps our heart going and our brain functioning and all of that. The masculine, it goes up the back, and then the feminine comes down the front. That is the most divinely masculine point, the strongest point in our bodies. So the fact that that opened up and released for you is huge. Because that's a huge space opener as far as being able to hold space, to create really strong, powerful energy. Oh, felt delicious. I like those words. Well, we're going to do more at the end. But Rhonda suggested this, and I think it's just such a great way. Oh, and Juju felt it in her neck area. So that's interesting. Yeah, maybe that's a focus of the tones. I love it because everybody feels it, or some people experience sensations or visions, thoughts, everybody.
I had visions. Yeah.
You did?
Yeah. I don't know if I could tell you guys. It's kind of funny though. Okay, don't hold it against me, nobody. Okay, here's what I saw. Okay. Surprise, surprise. I saw dragons. A dragon came up, and Matt Smith gave me a gift. Okay, he's Damon on the House of Dragons.
Oh yeah.
And so he came up on the dragon and presented me with a gift, and immediately it's like my eyes became open as far as I could see. I could see wings going and going, just wings flying all around, so many. So it was cool. I don't know what it meant.
That's very cool.
It sounds very freeing, very liberating, and I think that's what we're here to embody right now during these next couple months. Because when you think about, we're talking about the autumn equinox, and we all know that the equinox is when we have it, throughout the year, where we have a day that's equal parts, light and dark, day and night. And so just as it brings everything on our planet kind of back into balance and harmony, as above, so below. And what happens is, we are all, our lifestyles are just go, go, go 1,000,000 miles a day. And, we no longer have the luxury of being able to just sit and meditate on a mountaintop, right? And really, align ourselves naturally with the energies so that we can, kind of be in the flow. So what happens is when we shift gears like this and we shift seasons, a lot of times that like our internal organs and our internal systems are out of sync. And so, I experience this, a lot of people that are very sensitive or have, they call it seasonal affective disorder. But, sometimes when we do have a shift in seasons, I feel it. I feel a little off and out of whack. And, it takes a little bit for your body and your mind to kind of, get in sync. And so this is just going to help you do that, that much deeper and that much quicker. And so, like I said, we're kind of shifting gears here. We're moving from summer into fall, and we are in Libra season astrologically. And Libra is all about balance. And so this is just such a beautiful energy to just really take the time to, understand and to lean into. Libra joined, Melinda. Oh my God, Melinda. I just haven't seen these people in a while, or talked to them. Although I talked to Nancy this morning, so that's not true. We are here to fly and be free. I'm sorry. I just love you guys. I love the comments. So I just feel like I have to read them all. Thank you guys for giving so many good comments. This is awesome. So yeah, communication is going to be coming up for you right now, like relationships, like really looking at your life and seeing what is out of balance and like where you need to make shifts and changes to bring more harmony into your life and into your relationships. And that's, tied to the communication piece. And so for you guys, like, what I'd love to find out from you and have a little dialogue, like what do you feel like you were going to focus on this fall to, bring back into balance or to bring more balance into your life? Like, what relationships or what areas of your life?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Way to put us on the spot. I mean, I think that it's definitely, for me right now, I'm feeling like it's stepping more into flow. Like that's something that I've struggled with because I'm always like, I have to make this happen. I have to do this, but it's more about stepping into flow. And definitely, like, I don't know if anybody else felt the shift today with Mercury getting stationed now. So we still have the 2 weeks of Mercury shadow period, post shadow period. So it's no longer retrograde, which is great because it's been a really fun Mercury retrograde this time. With a lot of challenges, little obstacles and opportunities for growth. But I definitely feel like my communication has gotten a little bit stronger through this period because I've had to find different ways to communicate, which is better. Learning how to adapt more and not be so stuck in a certain way, like letting go of attachment to the way that I have chosen to be as opposed to flowing with the way that I am. Does that make sense?
Yes. Totally. I mean, really, that's what we're ultimately all trying to get to is that flow state, where things just seem to align. And it is so true. Like just with my experience in human design and the biofeedback, I mean, that's kind of like the whole focus because you realize it's so simple, but we just don't either know how or have the time or, whatever it is that gets in our way. But it's really, if you can just get that mind energy in alignment with that body energy, your body is the vessel, that houses your soul. We underestimate our nervous systems and our subconscious activity that is 90% of what we take in any given moment, like sensory wise, that our nervous system is taking in from our environment, 90% is unconscious to us. And so when you start to bring awareness to, like your body systems and you're able to be more aware of the energies around you, you get your energy field, your spirit, that whole piece in alignment. And guess what? Synchronicities start to happen, right? Like you're in the right place at the right time. And then all of a sudden, the right person or the right opportunity shows up and you're like, that was so easy. How was that so easy? Well, it was just because your energy was in alignment, so it was naturally bringing in the best optimal, situation for your highest good. So I love that, Bex. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's challenging but fun because
Yeah.
once you get it, things definitely open up more. You just have these things show up for you that are just so much fun and so perfectly aligned with where you actually want to be as opposed to where you think you want to be.
Is that not the truth? I know, like our minds just think that they run the show, right? Like, oh yeah, I got it all figured out. I'm going to keep myself safe. I'm going to look and see, oh, my neighbor's doing that and that makes them really successful. So if I do that, surely that's going to work for me. And then you wonder why you're like so frustrated and you're beating your head against a wall or you're like miserable,
Yes.
So I love that. That is so true.
Absolutely.
What about you, Teresa?
Okay, my intention is what we're asking, our focus. Is that right?
What do you want to bring more into balance and harmony this fall?
I just need balance and harmony, period. Because the last couple of years, I've been off. I've not been normal. And I feel like I'm rebirthing and it's coming to a head. I mean, pretty soon this puppy's going to pop out. But right now, I'm still rebirthing. I'm learning more about myself. I've taken back aspects of me that left when I was an infant and is joining back in. But all of this leaves me out of sync with time and everything. I don't know. I need the balance of the masculine and the feminine because there's enough time in revelry and enjoyment, but there's times to move ahead and come back again. So I just need balance, period.
That's so true. I think especially these last couple of years when things have been so destabilizing outside of us, it's really brought that to light internally, within a lot of us. And you're right, like that whole time thing has just been wacky for me too. And I'm sure a lot of people that are watching today. So I'm glad you brought that up. But it's just really, honestly, our nervous systems, up leveling and trying to adapt to this new normal, of being able to just handle change and to work on self-empowerment. I mean, they're calling this year the Great Resignation. Well, that's no coincidence, right? I think people are really starting to wake up and realize I can't rely on, people and things outside of myself, like I maybe thought I could 10 years ago to take care of me. Like I need to figure out who I am and get in alignment. And like I said, the more we do work like the biofeedback, breath work, qigong and things that connect you in human design, on a deeper level with the universal energies, the easier this becomes, because then you can align and also bring in that universal support, right? Just like the prana, the air we breathe, you're able to tap into those things on a deeper level and then have them work for you and have them heal you. And, to Teresa's point, I just want to point out, like, I think we all just need to remind ourselves too, how powerful this work is when we even just set our intention. They're doing scientific studies now that show, when you break down atoms into, molecules, just the power of somebody putting their intention on a molecule, on an atom, will restructure the molecules in the atom because it's energy, right? Going into that atom. And when we put into ourselves and our lives that intention, like Teresa's saying, to find more healing and balance and harmony and to release, old patterns that you've held on to since childhood, or to bring back, in a healing way, things that you've lost, you not only affect your life, but that creates an echo, in time and space that will go back and heal all those parts of your life. Like you think the past is the past, but that's not true. When you practice forgiveness or you shift your perspective, not only do you forgive yourself or maybe like that person, that hurt you, but that also will impact them, because then you're sending them, whether you realize it consciously or not, loving energy instead of, negative energy. And it also goes out into your future, right? Like, so that ripple in time is huge, so I think, like, talk about self-empowerment. Like, we really need to start looking at how our power lies in our difference, and it lies in knowing what your strengths are, how you're unique, right? What your impact is, here in this world, because we get in our own way too much, especially me. I know I do.
I do too.
Yeah, I think we're all, like, probably if we did a survey, most of us would be by far our own worst enemies.
We are our greatest obstacles. Yeah.
Yeah, we give ourselves that illusion of trying to control instead of just releasing and letting what is be. Like our ego wants to control everything, but it doesn't want to believe in our infinite possibility.
Well said. Totally.
So that's the thing. We have to believe that we have infinite possibility, and that shut up, ego. You can't control that. So stop worrying about it. Just leave it alone and just accept what is. And what do you say? Have no expectations. Never be disappointed, but always
Right.
expect the best. So that's
And enjoy the ride.
yeah, yeah.
It's a
That.
ride, and that's the thing. I think we can't. I think that control piece is like we want it to just go like this and just be all like at the highs and all peace and love. But I mean, it's a ride. Lately in my life, it has been a roller coaster ride.
We always say let go and let God, as long as God does it our way.
Right.
Right.
Hey, but you got to do it this
all
way.
hell breaks loose. I just say, Jesus, take the wheel. I like somebody. I'm like,
not when you're driving down the 401 though. But anyway.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. What about you, Rhonda? What's your intention?
My intention is to do those things that I say. Trying to let go and just let go. Let go. You can't control this. Just know that everything's going to work out and everything's going to be okay. But to let go and just see where it goes and be look at the future with curiosity, like it's an adventure rather than going, oh my God, it could be this, it could be that. So, worst case scenario. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
just like it's best case scenario, and which one am I going to choose? It's like, the better ending. So.
Yeah, I just was listening to something the other day, and it really helped shift my perspective because it said that.
Now that's going to be stuck in my head, Melinda. Thank you.
Oh, geez. That's why we
always
Bex,
appropriate
I might be
for
going to
Grateful
hell
Dead
in a bucket,
lyrics.
maybe, but at least I'm enjoying the ride. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Chris Steinle, is he related? I tell people,
my husband.
I tell people this is a flight test. Buckle up for the ride. I don't think it's a test. This is what we've got. You just buckle up for the ride. Like,
it is a test, though.
For no test, it's just happening.
It's happening. Yep. Yeah. Go.
Oh, that is so true.
I mean, the test isn't how we respond. So I agree that, to a certain extent, like this is it, but we are being tested in how we respond to it. Not reacting, but responding.
But we're tested by ourselves. We're not tested by anybody else who's got a judgment of us. We're testing ourselves. It's like when you go and run a marathon. You're not running against the other people. You're running against yourself, right?
Right.
So and taking on more of our higher selves.
We're in competition with ourselves, right? Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the thing I was going to say that I heard the other day that I thought was really good, just the way that it kind of shifted my perspective, it is you just need to make sure that you are focused on the solution instead of the problem. Because if you have that kind of personality that tends to worry, or, my mind is always busy. I just have a very busy mind. I'm always, running things over and over again. And it's amazing when you start to be more aware of yourself, and kind of step outside and observe your thoughts, how much I'm focused on the problem, and it'll just be running over and over again, like a hamster wheel in my mind, like, oh my gosh, this and that, and this and that, and this and that. But I'm like, okay, stop, wait a minute. If I'm putting that, if that's the mental energy that I'm, running around, what's that putting out? It's putting out more problems, right? And then they somehow find you, so it's like, just stop, catch yourself, have some compassion for yourself. Like, Rhonda, I think you said, like, we are, it's the race is between us and ourselves. So, you have got to be able to practice self-forgiveness, love, compassion, all those things, and just catch yourself and say, okay, shift that. Okay, let's focus on the positive, like you were saying, Bex. It changes everything, because again, we are all energetic beings, and it's like, we've downplayed that for so long, and it's like, no more, this is the time. And I love what you guys do, because you shine light and you give us opportunity to have these discussions, just to remind us all, because that gets us out of our own way sometimes when you've got somebody, just reflecting it back to you. what one fears, one attracts like a magnet. Exactly, Gina. And that's what I've really been catching myself this last week, just since I heard that. And I'm amazed, even with all the work that I do, on myself on a daily, regular basis, at how much I'm still doing that, right? Like,
I'm
I'm
doing
sure.
this to prevent that instead
Right.
of I'm doing this because I want to or
Yeah.
whatever. And people say, well, you may still, yeah, but that might be the ending. But on the way there, I've had fun. You know what I mean? I've had all the positive thoughts. We can have all the positive thoughts we want. But basically, we all end up at one place at the end of life, whether it's 20 years from now or 40 years from now or 102 years from now, whatever age you want to be. We're going to all end up transitioning. But we can worry about that end date or we can just have fun all along the way. And even though we all arrive there, we're going to, which way do you want to arrive? Dreading the day you transition or having fun every day and just living your life to the fullest and concentrating on all those good things, you know?
Amen to that. And speaking of good things, like when we look at, the Libra energy that, is, moving through us and, it's basically neutrinos. I don't know if it's ever been explained, but like in human design, we study this because I mean, really the air, we are the air that we breathe, right? That's what energizes us. And that's what connects us with that primordial energy, like you said, that is spirit, right? That it embodies us. And the air that we breathe is, to some extent, it is a living consciousness, right? It's kind of an awareness. When you breathe in air, it gives awareness to your body and your systems. And when you look at that air, where it comes from, some people are like, astrology, I don't get it. How can the planets way up in the sky impact me or influence me? But all of those planets are these mass, conglomerates of, light and matter. And so of course it makes sense. Just like the planet Earth has a certain, it emanates a certain resonance, right? Like the Schumann resonance, it emanates, like the blue, the green, like all of the things that emanate from it, that consciousness. The neutrinos are kind of like what the breath of stars, the breath of planets, and they're this tiniest particle that has ever been discovered. They're tinier than atoms, and they can move through matter, and that's what makes them so important. Unlike atoms and other things that get kind of stuck, they are matter, but this actually moves through matter. And so you think at any given moment you have, even whether you're breathing it or you're absorbing it through your skin, whatever, you're breathing in this cosmic life force that is, the different planets, the different stars, the different people, the collective consciousness. We are realizing more now than ever how connected we all are, because like we can now turn on the news or TV and you can see globally, what happens in one part of the world, kind of affects the other part. And so it's so fascinating when you start to understand that. And again, then you can learn to wait. If I just take a little time to find out what's going on energetically, in the cosmos, that's going to be moving through me, imprinting and influencing me, picking up my energy and my consciousness, whatever I'm thinking, and then move through the next person. So that's when you really start to see like the power of, when you do the healing work on yourself, you're not just healing yourself, you're healing everybody that you come into contact with to a certain extent, or you're up leveling them. Sometimes just being in a room, you don't even have to be saying anything. We think it's all, coming from, our voice, but it's really coming from our frequency. Oh my gosh, 30% of Shasta 2020. Oh, I know. When I saw Tammy was on, I just lit up. Yeah, a group of us, Rhonda came down from Canada back in 2020, right before, this was like before things really locked down. I think we like slid in right before that. Had this incredible magical experience in Mount Shasta, California. And it was so incredible that we had this group of 10 of us, I think, that came from all over, the US. None of us really knew each other. Well, a couple of us did, but had never met. And we had such an experience that, what is this, 2-3 years later, and we all still are connected. Melinda and Tammy and Jen and Rhonda and me. And it's just so cool. That's what I do like about social media, is it does allow you to find your people. It's not like you don't have to feel like ostracized because like you can't find anybody in your neighborhood that gets you. It's like find your people wherever they are. And like Jen is in Ecuador, but we talked this week, and it felt like we were just sitting having coffee, in my living room. I just love you guys. Love it. But yeah, back to the energy goodness. So Libra that we are in right now is ruled by Venus, and Venus is the planet of love. Whatever Venus shines light on, it creates more beauty, or it helps you notice the beauty in each and every day. And that also helps you, family coming together. Yes. Oh, Gina, I love you. So, my sister suffers from mental illness and, really, really struggles to get through each and every day. And, so I'm her support system. She reaches out to me, almost every day. And a lot of days are she's having a bad day, and it's really, really hard for her. And it's been really hard for me too, because a lot of you guys know, like I've been to hell and back, especially the last couple of years. I lost my son. And so here she's reaching out to me, and I'm barely, hanging on, trying to get up every day and just, get out of bed and, keep moving forward. But what I've told myself and what I have told her when, she reaches out to me is I'm like, you know what, just all you can do is just try to find the beauty in every day, and it might be the smallest thing, like, I don't even know, like somebody just makes eye contact with you, and halfway smiles. But when you start to look for that, you start to look for the good and the beauty, you'd be surprised. That kind of just helps bring more beauty, to your eyes, to your world. And it just can make all the difference. And so we really have that support right now, this month that we're in, of Venus really being influential and helping us do that. And as we come back in, as we find more harmony and beauty that Venus is helping us, bring to light in our lives, then that helps our, vibrational essence come back and align more fully with this beautiful autumn energy. Because when you think of autumn, I mean, what do you think of? Like, I don't know if Chris is still watching, my husband, but this is his favorite time of year. And I'm a Leo, so I'm all summer, right? Like what this.
I really love this time of year. It's great.
I love fall.
You love fall. What about you, Teresa? What's your favorite?
Yeah, actually, this is my favorite time of year to plant. Garden.
Okay.
Yeah, it's my favorite.
Okay. But you know what, like my husband, when I ask, like, what do what's so special about fall? And, he's like, there's this golden light that the sun is just the color's different. And just the way that it kind of shines and radiates down. And after he said that, like, I've really noticed that this season. And I love that, because when you think of like the equinox and you think of us moving into this time of autumn and the harvest and the abundance, like Teresa's saying, this is a time, in history where, you reap all the crops are, abundantly overflowing, and they're like, okay, we're giving you all we have. And you just feel like this gratitude. The sun is just shining this special golden light, and it's at this special place in the sky. And, you kind of start to slow down a little bit, with the cooler mornings, and, all this stuff is happening to kind of just get you into that like alignment, with the universal energy. So just be aware of that and give yourself like a little space to just contemplate, you know, and again, you know, create that space for allowing that abundance to come in. Because if you've got that hamster wheel, you know, thing like I've had, you know, lately going around in your mind, you're not creating the space. You're not going to be able to, yeah, see, Melinda, I knew we're kindred souls. I just knew it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's just the blessings can't come in if there's negativity in your space, you know. So let's like just set that intention as we listen to the tones later in a few minutes to really focus on releasing and creating space and calling in that frequency of abundance, because we're going to be listening to the tones that are going to get us, you know, set into that space. So I wanted to say, I also study Qigong, and, you know, Chinese medicine, Western and Eastern medicine, you know, blend so beautifully together. And so just so you know, the fall is associated in the 5 elements with the element of metal. And so the organs that are really going to be kind of stepping up and taking charge these next couple months for us are the lungs and the large intestine. And those, they are associated with the metal element. So what would be good for you to just kind of incorporate into your diet, just to help, you know, supplement your body in all the right ways? Apples, really, really good. If you can just, you know, throw those into your smoothie in the morning, or, you know, just try to have, you know, apple a day keeps the doctor away. You know, I love that saying I grew up with. And then ginger. Ginger is also really good right now for, you know, just your overall health and well-being, because the lungs are associated with fall, and the lungs lead into the support of the kidneys, which is those are our powerhouse organs. They carry, when you're born, your kidneys are actually what holds all of your ancestral energy, your life force. Think of it as your battery pack, you know, strapped on your back. And so, you know, if your lungs aren't in good shape, you know, it's just gonna, the winter, when we move into, you know, the kidneys, it's going to, you know, impact that. So, and lungs are associated with grief, you know, so it's like, you know, allowing yourself that space, you know, to kind of contemplate and realize what you are hamster wheeling, and, you know, letting go and being grateful and finding the beauty in every day, all of those things, and the breath work and the biofeedback, the qigong, all of those things are going to help you, you know, create that release that you need to just continue to heal and continue to balance. Because I think we're all in some state of healing, you know, even if you don't have something going on right now. Oh, ginger and mint. Oh, thank you for pointing that out, because mint, it's funny that you say that. Mint is the other thing. So you're spot on. So tell us, how do you use the ginger and mint? Do you do a tea? I'd be curious if you incorporate those together, because that would be really helpful for the rest of us. God, yeah, you're spot on. So, okay, so let's just go ahead and talk too, while we're doing a little energy update, about October's energy, you know, specifically. I think somebody mentioned at the beginning of the show, you know, woo, we just got out of Mercury retrograde, you know, this is like, but you know, it was interesting. I had so many technical glitches this last couple of weeks. It was like, wow, man, you're really kicking my butt here, Mercury retrograde. But what's interesting is it just came out of retrograde. But however, as it's turning and going forward, which Mercury is tied to our communication, so that's why a lot of times when Mercury goes retrograde, which all that means is, if you could see it up in the sky, it appears to be turning backwards, and it's a time to go within inward. Okay, so just putting it on your food. Yeah, there's probably all kinds of different ways that you could incorporate that. But ooh, apple pie, ginger, and cinnamon. See?
yeah.
Oh my gosh, no wonder we have apple pie at Thanksgiving. That makes total sense. Yeah, the asthma. Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm here in Seattle, Washington, and it's been so smoky and with fires, and it's just, oh gosh, anybody that's got any kind of breathing issues has just been really, really affected. So yeah, be kind to your lungs if you have asthma, and release and focus on love and letting go of any grief, of any sadness that you're holding on
Tapping
to.
your lungs helps with that too.
Yes, you're
Just
right. Oh, I'm
tapping
tapping
them.
my heart.
Your lungs kind of fit there. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can tap. You can even tap your kidneys if you want. Yeah, it's always working.
Oh yeah. You know what? Next time, if I come, when I will be on again,
Absolutely.
we should do some qigong, because that would be really helpful. We'll do some qigong, to kind of work with the kidneys and just help the organs that we're going to be wanting to really empower for the season. Oh yeah, doing some soup. I love this. Like, see what we're coming up with. We're focusing on the solution. I love it. So, okay, let's get into just going over what's happening in October. So I'm saying with Mercury turning direct, woohoo, that's great. However, it is in opposition to Neptune and let's see, one other planet. I think it's Mars. And so what that might mean is it's like, okay, now you can feel like you can communicate, and you're, instead of being inwardly focused on your own stuff with the retrograde, now, you've had all your epiphanies and your ideas and you're like, oh, I want to share them. And you've got this juicy Libra energy that's all about, connecting and relationships and, healing and communicating. But that Neptune is going to make you feel a little disoriented. It clouds it a little bit. So it might feel like you're kind of walking with a blindfold on, or you're talking, and not really sure like what direction you're going in. So just again, awareness is everything. Now that you know that, it's like, okay, when you find yourself doing that, you're like, okay, I'm not going to beat myself up if I sound like I'm not making sense or whatever. It's just the energies, right? Just the way they're moving through me. Give yourself some space there. But
because everybody will be experiencing it to some degree too.
Exactly. And that's the thing. Like when I do my weekly energy updates with human design and I go, hey, this is the energy that we're going to be dealing with this week. Talk about riding the wave. It's just so you can be aware of it. It's going to come up for everybody in different ways. But instead of like when something happens and you feel like it's your first day of surf lessons and you're just getting hammered and you're like, where's this coming from? And you like go into that victim mode of like, why is this happening to me? Like, what did I do? Then if you're like, oh yeah, Katie mentioned that that's probably going to be coming up for me this week. Oh, what do you know? It's right on time. Like you don't react, like you see it for what it is, or you can harness it and you can use it, to ride that wave like a professional surfer. Again, it's tapping into the universal energies and making them work for you, so because ultimately, the universe wants our highest good. The universe wants us to be happy because the higher, our frequency resonates, the more it's going to affect everybody and it's going to lift up everything. So, it's always conspiring for your highest good. And then it's just you taking the time to become aware and to be fully embodied and in alignment. But I was just going to say, so in addition to Mercury changing directions, we've got a total this month of 4 planets changing directions. When you think of there's 8 planets in the sky? I haven't counted.
It used to be 9, now they're 8. Yeah.
Okay. I was somewhere around there. But you know what I mean? This is an intense month just from that pure shift and change of direction, so give yourself like that, space of knowing like, okay, it's going to be maybe a month where it's going to feel a little like, whoa, okay, this is moving this way. Oh, okay, now I'm over, that's going that way. So, there's just going to be a lot going on. We also have, we always have like the full moon, energy. That's going to be on October 9th. We're going to have a full moon in Aries next week. And the full moon is next to Chiron, which is our wounded healer. And so Chiron it brings out in you like that thing that you always had to come up against. That was like just your biggest, wounding, kind of life lesson. And what happens is if you meet it, because like what we address, no longer, scares us, right? We can move past it. But if you don't address it, you notice how those same people or those same patterns and those same things keep circling around again and again. And you're like, why am I dealing with this again? Well, maybe it's because you haven't, faced it and learned the lesson and moved forward. So that full moon, just know next week, it's going to be in Aries. Go, Nancy. And that is going to be next to Chiron. So this is going to be like this last chance for you to kind of surrender any habits that are, keeping you, blocking you from your highest self, from your best life. Because Aries is all about our sense of self and who we are. Because after that full moon, if you haven't done the work, we move into eclipse season, which we have twice a year. Eclipses are game changers because eclipses are associated with the nodes, which is associated kind of like with our destiny or our karma. And it's more collective energy that's going to really impact us all. And so what the eclipses do is they kind of take you and they'll shake you up and they'll set you down over here, So like if you haven't done the work, you might find around the time of the eclipses that like, oh, wow, whoa, that door just closed. Oh, wow, what do you know? This door just opened. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of these points of time where it kind of just, realigns you and sets you kind of back on or trying to set you back on the path that you were meant to be on. So the eclipses that are coming this month is all about, us coming out of our limitations and shifting into a new frequency, into knowing that this is exactly where I need to be. And I think Rhonda said it so beautifully earlier, like what will come to you, what's meant for you is going to come to you. And so lean in and just know, like, that with this eclipse energy, we're going to have one at the end of October. It's October 25th, and it's a solar eclipse, partial solar eclipse. And it's in Scorpio. Scorpio, takes no prisoners. Scorpio is all about, letting go, rebirth, transformation, really diving deep. Thank you, Kayla. And this eclipse is associated with the South Node. So what that means is it's going to be like faded new beginnings, like it's conjunct Venus. So, think beauty, love. So this could be like a rebirth of your heart in some direction, that sets you on like a completely new path, like maybe all of a sudden, you're able to like have forgiveness in a relationship or see somebody in a different light and, really lean into that and let that energy, especially with that beauty of Venus, like really lift you up and support you. And so, just be aware of areas in your life or notice if maybe a relationship that no longer serves you falls away, at the end of October or the beginning of November, like, instead of, crying, in your box of Kleenex, maybe really look at it, in a neutral perspective and go, maybe this was for my highest good. I needed to let this go in order for my, heart to have space to, call in more aligned relationships. So just want to let you know about the eclipses because those are huge. And then lastly, and, I can go into more detail on this, in my energy updates, but Halloween, we've got Mars going retrograde in Gemini. And this is going to be one of the biggest astrological events of the year for us. This is a biggie. It's going to be tied to, rethinking everything, like in a big way, because Mars is what drives us, right? And when it goes retrograde, we are really, especially we're going into the winter months, right? And it's always this time where you kind of tune inward. And so you're really going to be like in this place of analyzing what drives you, like talk about that self-empowerment piece and really finding out what your purpose is and where you want to create meaning in your life and what matters to you. All of these bigger questions we're going to be not forced to think about, but you are going to be more kind of aware of that going into the winter season. I wanted to point out too that Saturn and Uranus are in a square, and it comes to its tightest point. Yeah, Kate, I know. I feel like every time I come on and do an energy report anymore, I'm like, oh my God, we haven't seen this in a couple hundred years, but it's like, it is. It's this time where, shifts are we are moving into, a whole new paradigm. And so the old has to fall away in order for, the new to be rebuilt. And, yeah, see, Nancy, you're so in tune, you're feeling it. But yeah, it's October is going to be, just a lot going on. Saturn and Uranus are power planets. And that's why I'm pointing this out. They're at their closest, tightest orb that they've been in this month. They're less than 1 degree apart. So they're like literally touching. And what that creates is a lot of friction. And it's like, on one hand, Uranus is all about change. I need to change. There's all these things in my life that I'm looking at, and I just need to change them. But then Saturn naturally resists change. So you see what I mean? You've got this friction so you might feel like you're pulled, like 1 minute you want to move forward and the next minute you want to go back. And so just know that, there is going to be this back and forth this month. And that's okay, because in order to create change, you do need a certain amount of friction, right? You need a certain amount of conflict in order to recognize harmony in your life. That's that light and dark coming into balance. You can't have light if you didn't have dark, to create, the shadow for the light, So are you Gemini energy? So you can relate. Yeah, this is going to be, that'll be a doozy for you. If you're already a Gemini, it might just feel, more natural, but a little more intense.
Yeah, because they're very good with the duality. And I think that's interesting that Mars is going to go retrograde right in that. I think that's the thing, is we're having to face our dualities, having to really look at them and see them and sit with them and say, okay, why is this like how I've chosen to experience this world? What are the dualities serving for me? And how can I, put them into harmony, bring them into harmony?
That is so beautifully said, Bex. God, I love you. She has this way. She just drops these truth bombs, like it's just, I love it when you speak, because it just resonates with me so deeply. And well said, because you're right. Like here we are, we're in this equinox energy, which is bringing, forth to light, this balance of the light and the dark, the masculine and the feminine, the polarity of, the chaos, outwardly and then inwardly, and how do we navigate that, and how do we bring that into balance? And thank you for saying that, Nancy. She's like like 5 planets in Aries, but we need people like Nancy to remind us to embrace change, because the only consistent thing is change. And like Rhonda pointed out, at some point, we're all going to transition and, change, right? So the more work we can do to create peace and freedom around change, the easier that our life becomes. That's how we grow. Nothing stagnant. But some of us resist change, like, oh my God, no, So this is what I love about us coming together and having these talks, because I think we just all uplift each other, and we just reflect and remind each other, and we grow together and we expand together. And bring it on. Of course, Tammy says, bring it on. I just wanted to point out one of the, I included, there's, I think, like 180 frequencies that we're going to be listening to in the biofeedback, but I made sure to include balancing of the dualities within, to Bex's point, the, meridian system, the conception vessel, the governing vessel, and then the Nogier frequencies. This doctor discovered that each organ has its own optimal frequency that it resonates at. And so I included all of the nogiers to bring the organs into balance and harmony, and then all of the chakra systems. And so, yeah, just included a lot of powerful balancing energies. If you're familiar, if you've ever heard of Ayurveda, I included some of the key Ayurvedic points for, and that's just, it's the same thing as the Chinese meridian system. It's just we are electromagnetic beings. And so the sooner that you realize how simple it really is to create balance, the magnetic piece of us is tied to our mineral content. Because think about it, minerals are magnetic, and then you get into metals, right? And this is a metal element. So included some key mineral components, because the more satiated in minerals you are, the more magnetic you are, and then the more you're going to attract those abundance and blessings, right? And then the electric piece is in Chinese medicine, that's the meridian system. And Indian medicine, that is the Ayurvedic system. So again, we're just bringing all of this into resonance, and these are perfected hertz frequencies that we're listening to. So when your body and your energy field hears this and takes this in, it's like, oh, this is what my liver's supposed to feel like, or vibrate. And so then your liver just starts to come into harmony. It's like, think of it like fine tuning a piano. Like we're all walking around with out of tune, like ding instead of. Mm-hmm. So we have a few minutes left. Let's go ahead and sit back. And this is the easy part. You guys are taking in all this information. And so if we can, let's just spend, maybe, let's see, let's do 8 minutes just so we can get a good amount of time with these tones. And I'll start playing them in the background. But I want you to go ahead and, again, just close your eyes and really start by taking some nice, deep, letting go breaths. Putting your feet, connecting your feet with the ground if at all possible. Just feeling that light, that electricity that is you, really starting to come alive. I always focus on my heart space, because our heart emanates the most electrical frequency of anything in our body. I think it's like 10,000 more times than our mind, which is funny because it's, we have it all wrong. We think that our minds control everything, but it's truly our heart. We need to lead with our heart. So just feel your heart space really opening up, and that spark of light, that unique thumbprint that is like nobody else's. This is your soul. This is your unique conscious awareness that came here to fit the unique piece of the collective puzzle. Really see that, feeling safe and just coming out and expanding throughout your entire auric field. On this next exhale, take it out and fill the entire room. This is your time. This is your time to receive all the blessings and abundance that you so deserve, and to be able to take up the space and make the impact that you so deserve. And then see that beautiful spark of light starting to just gently be pulled magnetically down through your torso, through your feet, moving into the earth, feeling that central core, that crystalline core of the earth, just effortlessly and gently pulling and filling that light that is you up with nourishment, with love, with support, with grounding, with everything that you need as you feel yourself plugging your light into the core of the earth. Feeling deeply held, deeply grounded, safe, secure, protected. And this is the time to plant any seeds, any intentions that you have for what you want to call in this next season, these next few months that we're in. While you think about all of these energetic shifts, like where can you make really huge changes for the better in your life? Go ahead and plant those seeds deep into the earth. Let her take them for you, nurture them, and support you in their growth. And then on this next inhale, start to move that beautiful, nourishing energy back up this column of light that you've created, moving back into your physical body, into your energetic body, and continue that beautiful light up and out the crown of your head, seeing it shoot past the moon, past the sun, past all the stars in our galaxy, until you come to that invisible barrier of all that you are consciously aware of. And on this next breath, feel yourself pushing through that barrier into the subconscious space of pure potential, of unlimited possibility. This is the space that you go to when you dream. This is the space where the great geniuses of our time have gone, like Einstein and Tesla and Jobs, to tap into that creative spark, to create the magic in your life, to create that electricity so that you can magnetically bring in ease and grace and flow. And start to bring that energy back down into your system, integrating with the earth energy in your heart space and radiating out in 180 degrees. And continue to focus on your intentions and the balance and harmony you are creating right here, right now, as we listen to these tones for the next few minutes. One more minute. Really take in these frequencies deep within your system. Focus on your bones and your blood and your bone marrow. Focus on your muscles. We hold all of our trauma and our emotions in our muscle fascia. So feel these frequencies going in and creating healing and harmony and purging anything that no longer serves you. go ahead and take one more nice deep breath, just letting all the shifts settle into place before you open your eyes and come back online. I know we went just a few minutes over, but I feel like it was worth it. I felt,
very worth it.
yeah.
Definitely.
Definitely. And people, you can listen to this in the replay, or you can put it on your podcast, because we're on podcast now, and you can listen to it. You can skip ahead, or you can re-listen to all the information and take it in again. And yeah, you can just enjoy this again and again.
Please do. Every time you listen to those frequencies, it has a cumulative effect. It really does. This stuff is life-changing. Thank you, Nancy.
Yeah, it's awesome. Thank you so much. Oh, there's Tammy saying thank you. Love you. Yeah, sweetie. Yeah, it was quite cool. Yeah, went somewhere else. I don't know where I was. May not be back for a while, but I better come back soon because I have a client in an hour or so.
You're in the land of milk and honey.
Yeah.
Ginger and mint.
Ginger and mint. Yeah, it was beautiful. Yeah, such a beautiful gift. Yeah, so nice. Just what we need on this sunny autumn day in here. I don't know if it's sunny where you guys are, but I'm hoping everybody's. Yeah, Nancy's feeling so zen. Yeah. So lots of comments flooding in. So happy to have you here today, Katie. So much fun.
Oh, it's always a joy. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And yeah, I can't wait for our next time together. Aw, that just made my day, Kathy. Thank you.
Oh, that's so sweet. But have a great day, everyone. I'm just kind of in la la land. I don't know about a bunch of you. So Bex, you have a few things to finish off with. So I will.
Well, I don't think we need to ask her the questions because she answers them every time. So I think we're gonna give her a break today.
Unless she has a new crystal.
A new crystal or a new song. But if you don't have any new ones, it's okay.
I'll let you go ahead. Yeah.
We definitely it was more fun to listen to those tones, and yeah, I'm not back yet. I was having such a magical experience. There was like purple light coming out of my hands, and
oh wow!
When I first started, though, my energy constricted immediately. I immediately felt resistance, and I was like, okay, this is not normal for me. And then I felt my energy like just launch into like a super expansive. It was like at first I wanted to resist, and then it didn't let me. So then it just expanded tremendously. And yeah, like this purple light coming out of my hands and seeing myself being able to like move things with my hands and manifest things like instantly and just super. I was like I was a magic school. It was fun. And then I turned into the energy, like my physical body dissipated, like melted into energy. I don't know what the hell was going on, but that was fun.
That's powerful.
This is definitely a replay for before you go to bed tonight. That's what I think.
Yeah, good idea.
Fun dreams. Okay, so I just have to announce the winner, and then we can go and just sit in this energy. And yeah.
Yeah, Katie, I think you need to put that one on your Patreon mail out.
That's what I was thinking. Just FYI, I have, if you go on to patreon.com and go to Discover Your Design, I do customized tone playlist each week depending on the frequencies of the cosmos so that you can create alignment. And then we do a cool celestial circle once a month where we really dive deep and we have a lot of fun. So I'd love for you to check it out and join me there. Thank you.
And everybody can join your page for free. You just have to join Discover Your Design on your Facebook page, and you post tones in there and all sorts of information in there as well, too.
Yes.
So it's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. The winner of last week's share it out / comment, because we're being more flexible now, is Amy Lewis. So congratulations, Amy. We will get that to you. And you guys, you want a chance to be able to, we've had lots of comments today, so we don't have to say that, but share it out, guys. Invite your friends. There's so many people who would absolutely love to experience what we got to experience today. And, it's the gift of healing. What better gift is there? So share it out, invite friends. And we love you all so much for hanging out with us every week. And Katie, you get such a huge response from our viewers. Like, you have such a big fan base that when you show up, We
Thank
get
you.
so, like, people just show up and they're more active, and we really appreciate you. And we know we'll have you back in December for the solstice.
Oh,
Same for
yes,
that.
of course. Thank you so much. That just, it helps, keep me, it gives me the energy to continue to do what I do. Like, I appreciate that so much.
We appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We love you.
Yeah.
Mwah.
And thanks, guys. And we'll see you next week. Oh, and we have Michelle from Photo. She's a friend of yours, Katie. Michelle. I'm sorry, Lee. Lee, your friend that does the light.
Is next week?
Yeah.
Oh, yay. You guys have to check out Lee. Lee, I do healing with sound. The future of healing is light and sound based. And so I heal with the biofeedback sound, and Lee heals with photobiomodulation, which is light therapy. So super cool, cutting edge stuff. That's so cool. You're having us back to back.
Yeah.
I wonder how it'd be to have you both on together at some point and do both at the same time. That would be incredible.
Yes. And we are actually good friends. So it would gel. Like, we would have so much fun.
But to be able to listen to the biotones at the same time as having the light, whatever she's going to be able to show, would be amazing.
Yeah.
That would be huge. Yeah. Yeah. Let's talk. Let's plan something, because I think that would be really powerful.
Yeah. So I'm excited to find. What's Lee's last name? It's just escaping my brain.
Lee
Pardon?
Grove.
Grove. Lee Grove. Okay, cool. Okay, well, join us next week. You heard it here. Katie's endorsed it. Awesome. Thank you so much.